So let's start. So I think we'll start with a quick introduction where you just tell us more about your name. What is your name, or what are you doing? Which school are you studying in? That's fine.
So my name is Isra. I graduated in from Sharjah Indian School, and now I'm going to join the HK faculty of Charles University.
So, all right. You've already mentioned you're joining Charles HK, but I'm sure I think you might have applied to a lot of options. So, could you just elaborate a little as to which options you had applied to, and why have you shortlisted on Charles HK as an option?
Um, okay, so I've applied to Charles University first faculty and second, and I've also applied to the Palak University. But I felt that like comparing all of these, I felt that like HK would be the best for me, like as a personal choice. Yeah.
Great. And also, could you let us know that was Czech Republic your first preference when it came to studying medicine, or had you, did you have any other country options in mind, or have you already applied to other countries also apart from Czech Republic?
Actually, like when I first finished my school year, my sister, she's studying in Sofia University, Bulgaria, and I thought of joining there as well, but like due to the COVID, I was unable to write the entrance exam. So I started looking like for more options and like preparing myself for the entrance exams for these universities. So yeah, it, I would say it was my second choice, but I think from what I can see, it's the best comparatively. Yeah.
Great. Now coming to education consultancies in general, like in Dubai, there's so many education consultancies that offer like different medical universities. So I wanted to know, can you just highlight certain things that you really liked about our agency that you thought that, okay, we should go ahead with this option? What was that one thing that was more pleasing and more convincing to you?
Uh, okay, so when I was first looking for Czech universities, my friend, she's in Masaryk. She's doing first year med, and she was telling me how these Czech visa procedures in Czech Republic, they're really complicated, and like you might get if the documents are not correct, you might get rejected. So she was telling me like take up Gyanberry, like they're really professional and like they know what they're doing because they're like really experienced in this field. So that's how I knew. And also, my mother, she's a teacher in Shah Indian School. And so when she asked her previous students and who are there in Czech studying medicine, they all said Gyanberry. Yeah.
Right. So it's really nice to hear that from you, that that there are people who are actually recommending a company,
Yeah,
and
for sure. Yeah.
making us happy that we were able to stay on whatever you have heard about us, and we were able to prove that and provide that kind of service to you. So that's great. um the next one I would want to know is, like, I think I was the one who was in touch with you in December. So before you got registered with us, we were talking about different medical options.
Yeah.
And, we spoke about a lot of medical options in Czech, in Hungary, in Lithuania, etc. So I need to know, firstly, were you convinced and satisfied with the medical options that I spoke to you about, or were there any options that you wanted to apply to which were not within our partner network? Second, just I want to know, was that session helpful? Like, the conversations that you initially had with me or my colleagues regarding medical universities, was it helpful for you to get enough information and go ahead and proceed to these universities?
Okay, so like I said, like at first I really didn't have any idea. Like I thought like Sophia itself, that's it. But when I started researching more, I kind of like knew that there's a lot of options. But there was one thing that I didn't have much information on is the Italy medical schools that are like public. Yeah, so I think that yeah, that was one that I didn't know more about. But the rest of yeah, it was all good. Like there was enough information from you guys. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for that. Now, of course, we know that, I mean, I'm sure you might have done your preparations before you got in touch with our company, and you might have done your research. And also, you were very sure that you wanted to go to Sofia. So that was another thing. But once you registered with us, it was everything about, preparing for these entrance exams and, trying and acing each of these exams. So we as a company, we've tried our best to keep you, give you all the materials possible to prepare for these exams and assist you in any way possible. So I just wanted to know, we have conducted these webinar sessions or these mock exam sessions with the universities. How helpful were they? Do you think they have helped you to get a better understanding about the universities?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because something that I've noticed is for these entrance exams, the questioning that we did in school and in these exams are like completely different. So with the sample papers and like the mock exams that you guys held, it was really helpful in understanding how it was. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So then the webinars were helpful, the materials were helpful, so you're happy with it, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Then the next one would be is could you tell us about, I mean, could you just share certain tips or suggestions to the junior students as to what makes a perfect application? What are some things they need to keep in mind when they're starting to apply to universities?
Oh, okay. So the first thing that I learned from like my experience in applying was that never choose one. Like always keep a lot of options with you. And of course, yeah. And the second thing would be like be sure in what you're choosing. Like you have, if you're choosing medicine, choose medicine because you want to, and not because anyone else is. Like that should be your passion. I think that's like the only way you could like succeed because it is pretty hard. So
That's a very thoughtful advice, and that's also true. I mean, if you, it's always better to keep your options open because you don't know which one will work and which one will not work, right? So I
yeah.
think
And
that is
this
something.
pandemic, it was
Exactly.
sorry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, that people should follow what you're saying because you never know when the situation is in your favor and when it is not, so it's always better to have it. Great, thank you for that. The next one is, could you share a little bit more about how did you manage your workload? I mean, I'm sure you might be having your stress of your homework, your assignments from school, plus your stress of preparing for the entrance exam. So, what was it that you did best in order to manage both and balance your schoolwork also, your school mock exams and test papers, as well as study for the entrance exam? How did you do that?
Okay. So in these entrance exams, what I've noticed is that they focus a lot on the 11th portion because 11th grade we like learn a lot of content, but in these entrance exam they have the MCQ types. So it's really understanding and applying the topics that we learned instead of like long answers and like memorizing the content. So I would say like for the juniors who are going to apply, um, stick with your schoolwork, like learn the 12th grade and all that, but keep a small amount of your time in a day, like to revise the 11th and like practice questions in the MCQ type rather than the long answer type that we learn in school. So that would be an advice for them. Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you for that. And last question, I just want to know if you could summarize your entire journey with Gyanberry and just tell us about how was it for you throughout from December until now, and if there's any particular person you would want to highlight or any particular instance that has made you happy throughout this entire journey.
Okay. So throughout this application procedure, I saw that like it is very systematic, and like every step of the way it's like, yeah, you have to do this, they have to do this, and I really appreciated that, like because I think many students find the application procedure like very confusing, and like they don't know what the documents required. So I really appreciate that it was very systematic and professional. And second thing is that like if I had any query or question, I would just email like Mr. Christian or Miss Sukanya, and I would get instant response. So that was really great too. Yeah. So thank you for that.
I'm going to let her know about this because I'm sure she's going to be really happy to know that students liked working with her and she was very helpful for them. So thank you very much for that kind of feedback. And I would like to congratulate you once more for your achievement. It's a very big deal getting into one of these universities because they're very competitive. And again, medicine is not easy. And you were able to crack the entrance exam. So all the best to you. Congratulations. And you can contact us anytime you want. I mean, even in the future, if there's any kind of issues, we will for sure be happy to assist.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank you
day.
for your time. Take care. Bye.
You too.